Adding and subtracting fractions with Tutor. Here are the beginner questions, some of the easiest questions that you're likely to find on this topic. To add or subtract fractions, you need a common denominator. In this case of the first question, you can see that we already have a common denominator of 12. Once you have common denominators, you can add or subtract the numerators. So with our common denominator of 12, we can start with 1 and we can add 5, which will give us 6 over 12. Both of these numbers have a highest common factor of 6, so we can simplify to give us our final answer of 1/2. For the next question, we can see that we do not have common denominators, so we need to use a common multiple that we can change 6 and 2 into, and to save the amount of simplifying you have to do at the end, it makes sense to find the lowest common multiple, which in this case would be 6. You can see that the first fraction already has a denominator of 6, but to change the second fraction's denominator into 6, we would need to multiply the denominator by 3. To keep the value of the fraction the same, you can't multiply the denominator by 3 without timesing the numerator by 3 as well. So this would give us 1 plus, and 1 times 3 is 3. Adding these together gives me 4 over 6. Both of these have a highest common factor of 2, meaning my final answer is 2 over 3, or 2/3. For the last question, our lowest common multiple would be 9. The first fraction already has a denominator of 9, but we'll need to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3 for the second fraction, meaning we can do 4 minus, and the numerator 1 times 3 is 3. This would simplify to give us 1 at the top and 9 at the bottom, so 1 over 9. On to the intermediate questions. With a slight increase in difficulty, we can see that the denominators are different. We'll need to find a common denominator by doing the lowest common multiple, which in this case is 28. Neither of these fractions have a denominator of 28, so we'll need to multiply both of them. That will involve multiplying the denominator of 7 by 4, which means we'll also need to multiply the numerator of 6 by 4 as well. 4 times 6 is 24, and for the second fraction, we'll need to multiply the denominator of 4 by 7, so multiplying the 3 by 7 will give us 21, and 24 minus 21 is 3 over 28. For the second question, our lowest common multiple will be 10. Multiplying 2 by 5 will give us 10. So 1 times 5 is 5. For the second fraction, multiplying 5 by 2 will give us 10. So 3 times 2 is 6. And then we're adding these together, which gives me 11 over 10. And when writing in its simplest form, it is more simple to convert to a mixed number rather than leaving your answer as an improper fraction. So my final answer is 1 and 1 over 10. On to the advanced questions, some of the most tricky types of questions that you're likely to find on this topic. Adding or subtracting fractions doesn't just have to be 2 fractions. It can also be more than this. The method for how we approach this remains the same. We'll still need to find a common denominator of 4, 3 and 6, and we can do this by finding the lowest common multiple between these 3 numbers, which is 12. For the first fraction, that will involve multiplying the numerator and the denominator by 3. So the numerator is 1 times 3. For the second fraction, that will involve multiplying the denominator and the numerator by 4, and 2 times 4 is 8. And for the last fraction, we will need to multiply both by 2, and 5 times 2 is 10. We were adding these together. 3, 8 and 10 gives us a total of 21 over 12. Both of these are divisible by 3, so we can start to simplify. And 7 over 4 can be converted to a mixed number to give me 1 and 3 over 4. For the last question, a bag contains a mixture of sweets. 2/5 of the sweets are shortbreads, and 1/4 are toffees, and the rest are mints. Work out the fraction of sweets that are mints. To work out how many are shortbreads or toffees, we'll need to add these 2 fractions together. Our lowest common multiple is 20. We'll need to multiply denominator and numerator by 4 for the first fraction. So 2 times 4 is 8, and we'll need to multiply the second fraction's denominator and numerator by 5. and 1 times 5 is 5. Adding these together is 13 over 20. And if you want to work out how many are left from the total would have started off with 20 over 20, which is 1 whole, and we can subtract 13 over 20 to leave us with the fraction left over, which would be 7 over 20. Here's a question that I've completed. It appears as though I've made some mistakes. See if you can pause the video and tell me what they are, or write some corrections in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you found that video useful, don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment. If you're struggling with topics or finding maths difficult, subscribe and turn on notifications to receive regular updates about new video tutorials and other useful content. You can visit and follow all of my socials by clicking the links in the description below.